And good afternoon, everybody. This is Tony Fapiano coming to you from the studio at Guilford Community Television. I have two special guests with me today. And we have a full crew, by the way, too. I just want to mention we have Donald Beckler, who is doing a fantastic job, I'm sure, directing this program. He's sitting in the control room with Sam Stark, who's covering our sound, and Josh Cohn, who is behind one of the cameras. So I want to thank you guys for participating as well. All volunteers, by the way.
Absolutely.
And my guests are Jim Cohn, who is the founder of Customer.
Come on, Tony, you can do it.
God, I gotta get this. I got to read this. We were practicing the Customer Service Solutions.
Thanks.
And Brian McGlone, who many of you recognize as the coordinator for Guilford's Economic Development Commission. So thanks to both of you for being here.
Thank you.
And the purpose for being here is you're talking about a program about customer service and small businesses, which you're going to hold on. Give us date, time, and location.
Yeah, Guilford Yacht Club, May 20th, 8 a.m. to noon.
Okay. And who's going to be there, and what are they going to see?
Well,
who are you inviting to attend this?
Well, the program is targeting small businesses on the shoreline. When I say the shoreline, I mean primarily Brantford, Guilford, and Madison. The program is being supported by the Chambers of Commerce and Economic Development people in all three of those communities. And if you're a business person on the shoreline, I can't imagine why you wouldn't carve out the time and be at this event. It's going to be a spectacular training.
Well, particularly because I think we've coming out of kind of a difficult economic environment for a lot of businesses, not all, but certainly for many, and the winter that we've had. I mean, the impact that this winter has had on some of the restaurants in town and other businesses has been huge. So, those are the kinds of things that are maybe variables that are out of our control as small business people. Yeah. But I guess that's going to be part of the focus of your discussion and the conversation that day.
Well, we get over that stuff real quickly by saying, I know I'm awesome and powerful, but I can't control the weather and the economy, and neither can ours. What are you laughing at? So, and neither can the individual business people.
But I'm assuming you're going to have some suggestions and some conversation, at least from people that have been able to survive economy and variables out of our control.
Yeah, and we put it right in its place, Tony. People call it when the economy first really started to take a dip, and I would get phone calls from friends and clients in business. What's our strategy going to be in this challenging economy? And our strategy is always the same. I mean, you're a small business person. You already eat, sleep, and breathe your business. It's all you think about 24/7. The strategy in a challenging economy is just like the strategy in any other economy, and that strategy, very simply, is to be better. Find a way to be better. Find a way to create a better experience for your customers. If you want more people walking through the door, be better. That's our strategy.
Mm-hmm. Now, to your left is Brian McGlone, who is economic development. He's the guy. He's the guru for economic development in the town of Guilford.
Yeah.
How did he get involved in this? Or Brian, maybe you want to answer that. How did you get involved with Jim?
Jim reached out to me. We've known each other for a while in town. He came to me, started talking to me about the concept of it. I thought it was fantastic. Any way we can help our businesses, training, making them better, making them stronger, makes our community better. So as soon as he started talking about it, I thought it really made sense. A lot of people, when they first heard it, they assumed it was retailers, but he emphasizes small businesses. Whether you're a realtor, a banker, a business, a lawyer, a doctor's office, I mean, some of the concepts that are going to be talked about, building relationships with your customers, making that a more positive experience, is universally can help businesses. So I looked at it and said, hey, it's a good thing. We should get involved and try to help.
Yeah. So as an attendee that day, what's my experience going to be? What am I going to see?
It's going to be awesome.
Is it a lecture type?
Yeah, we're gonna have 5 presenters on stage.
Do you want to mention who they are?
I would love to.
Yeah, go ahead.
The first one is Tim Gielen, the president of Guilford Savings Bank here in Guilford. Andrew Page, president of Page's Hardware, and those are 2 businesses that are iconic for the customer experience that they deliver, and that's why we really wanted them, and we're so excited to have both of them on stage. Tommy Wyatt and Curtis Lucy are going to be there. Tommy and Curtis wrote this book, Appreciation Marketing, How to Achieve Greatness Through Gratitude. and they are nationally recognized.
What's the subtitle?
How to Achieve Greatness Through Gratitude. Okay. And Tommy and Curtis are nationally recognized speakers in addition to being best-selling authors. And because they're friends of mine and we do quite a bit of work together, they've agreed to, Curtis is coming all the way up from Florida to do this event without getting paid. Tommy lives at the other end of Connecticut, and they're both going to be on stage, and they're fabulous presenters, and their material is outstanding.
Now, what's their motivation for wanting to do that? They're coming up at their own expense? I mean,
Yeah, they are. Nobody's getting paid. Nobody's making money on this. We're all doing it because we care. We're all doing it because we understand that the health and well-being of small businesses in our community is of a benefit to everybody in the community. It's an important part of the fabric of the community. And it's in all of our best interest to see these businesses be healthy and prosper and do as well as they possibly can.
Well, Tony, too, and Jim didn't say it, he's the fifth presenter. He didn't really mention himself. It's really his relationship with Tommy and Curtis that he asked them. They bought into it. They've worked nationally on different programs. I mean, we're taking probably a day or day and a half program and trying to compress it into 4 hours.
which I think is a smart thing. For most business people, to show up for a day and a half probably is not a realistic, maybe it is.
Yeah.
It seems to me that 4 hours would be more manageable, at least for somebody like me.
Yeah. You know, it's been interesting. The response has been so positive, and some people, some people in various professions are used to doing continuing education. In fact, in a lot of professions, it's required.
Yeah, in my business.
But for us small business people, it's not.
Yep.
And we're out there on a little bit of an island because we don't have a boss, which is a good thing. It's one of the reasons we are in business for ourselves.
Unless you're married.
Because unless you're married, and you're not the
boss.
wife. Yeah, but sometimes we need someone to give us a little nudge to get us out of our routine or rut, as you would. This is 4 hours of material that could be life-changing for someone in a small business.
Well, the whole idea of filling the room with small business people and having interaction and networking that takes place, that in itself is going to be something that the average business person perhaps doesn't have the opportunity to experience.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something that just to hear what somebody else has to say or bring up an idea or a solution.
Yes. Yes. So we're labeling it an educational and inspirational morning for just that reason.
Okay. Now, what is customer solution?
I'm not letting you off the hook. I could have helped you there.
I got enough problems with Shoreline Real Estate Company. Customer service solutions.
Tony Fatcow, Shoreline Real Estate Company. That's not that hard.
I've blown that 4 times already.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I don't mind at all. It gives me another opportunity for a plug. Customer service solutions. So you brought up the economy. The economy is something that we can't control. The weather, something that we can't control. Here's what we can control. We can control the experience that we provide for our customers. That we can control. And that's a very powerful thing because that's a thing that the guys on the internet cannot do as well as we do. That's a thing that the big box people cannot do as well as we small business people can do it. We can develop eye-to-eye relationships so that when someone walks into a big box realtor or pushes the buy button for Amazon, no one's going to say, "Hey, Tony, welcome back. How was your vacation? By the way, is your wife feeling better?" All those kinds of questions, and in a genuine and heartfelt way. Not in some automated way. So as small businesses, we really do have some competitive advantages. And they're powerful things. They're not insignificant things. Relationships with customers are very, very powerful in terms of the consumer's decision of where to do business. Relationships count.
Okay, with respect to the economy, Brian, you're close to so many business people in town. What are you hearing? What are the challenges that a lot of the businesses that you talk to, either those that are already in town or trying to stay in town or maybe coming into town, what are the challenges that you, with economic development?
Sure. I mean, as they look, keeping customers, growing customers, creating more demand. I mean, we try to look at Guilford, and there are millions of people passing every day out on 95. How do we get them in here? And then when they're here, how do they have this good experience? So, I mean, all the local businesses, that challenge of bringing in more people, and as Jim is saying, keeping them satisfied, keeping them happy, and I think I just lost my train of thought there.
Welcome to my world.
I'll come back. I'll come back.
It comes with age. It'll come back.
One of the things that Jim's talked about that I think is really good, though, that a lot of the businesses, let's just say you have one business here that's very solid, well respected, creates a lot of demand, a lot of traffic. That's what we need, is a lot of traffic in town, foot traffic. I don't mean the negative sense of, you know, car traffic that blocks things up. Bring people in. And if you have a good, strong business, and then you can get the ones on your left and right, and left and right, and left, now the whole community is a lot stronger. So we're hoping Guilford and the Shoreline, with Madison and Brantford included, has that reputation, starts to get that reputation as a good place to do business, to come here. You're respected, you're valued, and it's a thoughtful consideration for doing business.
Well, you touched on something that I would like to spend a little bit more time on, and that is the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You can't get customer service necessarily.
Wait, did you just say you want to spend more time on the internet?
No, I didn't say that, but more and more people are doing that. And, you know, I know that local retailers have a concern because in some cases, you know, I have a client that actually has a business on the green, and he's told me in no uncertain terms, people will come into his shop with their smartphone, click it, find out where it is, what it is, and where they can get it perhaps cheaper. You know, so pricing by way of the internet becomes the big competitor, if you will. They're maybe not competing with somebody down the street who provides the same service or sells the same products that they do, but the internet all of a sudden is huge, and more people are using it.
Yeah,
I'm sure you have.
All the time.
Brian, you have.
Yeah, all the time.
I don't do it all the time, but I have too.
It's an amazing tool. Well, you know what? There are going to be certain themes that run throughout the morning on May 20th. One of them, for example, is what Brian brought up, that, you know, if I have a shop on Main Street and the guy on my left and the guy on my right is bringing tons of traffic, that's good for me. If the guy on my left and the guy on my right are not doing well, or even worst case scenario, if those spaces are vacant, that's really bad for me. So one of the themes is that how we're all interdependent, how we all have a vested interest in the success of each other. That's one of the themes. But another theme is what you talk about when you talk about the internet. And, you know, when so many of these businesses were founded, the internet wasn't even a factor in terms of shopping. So people started their business, and then the world changed. And it continues to change. In fact, it continues to change at an increasingly rapid rate. But that doesn't mean we're helpless. And I don't mean to say that I'm going to get 100% of the business, that you're going to stop doing any business on Amazon or Zappos, or for that matter at the mall or at the store in the next town over. But I can certainly exploit some competitive advantages. And most of those advantages, and this is, again, is a theme that's going to run through the presentations on May 20th, one of those advantages is understanding that the decision to buy is not a rational decision, it's an emotional decision. You're a realtor. You've heard the expression, buyers are liars. What does that mean? Somebody comes to you and they give you the specs on what they're looking for.
Not my buyer clients.
Somebody else's. No, I understand that.
They're listening.
Shoreline real estate. Okay, but what does that really mean, buyers are liars? Well, it means that in our mind, you know, we're going shopping and we want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a certain type of location in a certain school. And what happens? Typically what happens, you've seen it a million times. You show them something that has nothing to do with what they've spec'd out, and they fall in love with it and they buy it. What is that an example of? That's an example of that we make these decisions. We would like to think that we make them rationally. We don't. We make these decisions emotionally. So we make an emotional decision, and then we back it up with the rational data and the flow charts and the, you know, all the data, all the hard info to support a decision that we've already made emotionally, viscerally in our gut. So a theme is that it's about how we make people feel. And that is a very powerful competitive tool for the small business, because we have an ability to connect with our customers on an emotional level that the big guys don't have. So am I going to get all their business? No, but I'm going to get my fair share if I make people feel appreciated, if I make them
Absolutely.
feel important.
No question about it. Yeah, I mean, I in my own career, I was part of the Century 21 system for 20 years, and that was a certain image that was put on me by a larger corporation.
Right.
When I became independent, I had to create my own
Brand.
who I am and
Yeah.
what we do. Okay,
Yeah.
and yeah, you're right. But I'll go back to the internet situation. I attended a chamber function actually a couple of years ago where R.J. Julia, Roxanne Cody, was the speaker, and she talked about how she sells books. Now, every single book that she sells for the retail price can be bought for less money with free shipping from Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. So how was she able to overcome that and be as successful as she is? And she is a very successful retailer. She's always doing something. And if you think about the speakers that she's had, the
Yeah.
authors that have come in,
Yeah.
and the things that she's done, I mean, that's a phenomenal example,
It's a
I think, of
great
what you're
example.
talking about.
She's creating an
What a
experience.
dynamite woman she is.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
can ever get her to speak, I mean, she's a dynamite speaker as well.
Yeah.
But that's an example of how some small, little town, little retailer can compete in the big world
Yeah.
when a lot of people buy that book online.
I think, yeah, Tony, to your point, I think fundamentally we all still like to do business with people
Absolutely.
we like.
Yeah.
And in her case, she's built a following of people that like her, trust her.
Yep.
I mean, so many other shops here in town, I frankly don't care about the price. I walk in, they're my friends, I see them. I feel like in my own way I'm helping them stay in business, keeping a vibrant town. So, I mean, I think a lot of the things that people are going to hear at this seminar reinforce that. A lot of it's common sense, but maybe they haven't thought about some of the concepts. And if they can walk away with 1 or 2 or 3 new items to make their business better and stronger, that's really what we're trying to accomplish at this session.
And if
Yeah.
you're just tuning in, I want to tell everybody that I'm having a discussion with Jim Cohn and Brian McGlone, who are two of the really important component parts, actually, of an event that's coming up on May 20th in the town of Guilford at
Guilford Yacht Club.
Guilford Yacht Club.
8 a.m. to noon, Wednesday the 20th.
Okay, now 8 a.m. to noon. Are you going to give me breakfast or lunch? Something,
Not
one or the other.
completely. Not completely.
No, but I'll meet you for a drink later that day.
No, you know, we're going to have just basic refreshments, coffee, teas,
Yep.
juices. I mean, we thought about that, but frankly, we want to. I mean, we want to be respectful of the people's time as well.
Sure.
And some of them would rather get in, be focused, and get out, as opposed to.
And there is a
adding-
fee, I think I've read somewhere.
$25.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that obviously you have an expense like just using the Guilford
Right,
Yacht Club.
right.
Well, I think, and just to comment too, the book that we see here that Curtis and Tommy wrote, they're not here to sell their books. We're actually going to be giving this to every attendee that comes.
right?
So for that $25 fee, it covers our basic refreshments, the use of the facility, and they'll walk away with a book that hopefully they can use and incorporate into their business.
Now, besides the tremendous exposure that you're getting on Guilford Community Television, how else are you marketing this event?
Yeah.
Because this isn't going to do it alone, let me tell you.
It's not?
No, it's not.
Oh,
it's not.
gosh, I guess we're going to have to come up with something, Brian.
What else are you doing to let people know?
Yeah, we're getting such tremendous support. You know, as we were saying before, the event is attracting so many people, so many terrific people. Amongst them, the Chambers of Commerce in each of the 3 towns, Brantford, Guilford, Madison, all on board, can't do enough to help us promote the event, provide ideas and resources for us. Economic development, Brian here in Guilford and his opposite number in Brantford, also very, very supportive. Leslie Krumholtz at Good Streets, who has a parallel mission to ours. You know, the mission of Good Streets is to support small businesses in our communities. So, God, she's been terrific. She, you know, from editing video and putting up the website. And so you're going to be seeing a lot about the Shoreline Small Business Symposium, hopefully everywhere you look for the next 6 weeks. But
And you have a website
we are. It's
for
gonna-
this particular event?
Yeah.
Okay, what
Yeah.
is the website?
The website is not live yet. It will be live within the week. And
By the time this gets on GCTV, it'll be a week. So,
really?
yeah.
Is there anything we can do to hustle that up?
This feels like it's live, but it's not live. But it's going to be a few days before this actually gets on the air.
So the web address is actually today.
Say it again.
Marketing for Main Street, which is the title of the event, marketingformainstreet.today.
.today.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Now
It's easier than
so-
customer service solutions, right?
Yeah, I had that. Yeah.
So, Neil, you know,
Listen, if
web-
things don't work out for you, did you ever consider an exciting and rewarding career in real estate?
You know, I've already failed at that.
You hadn't thought about it. Good thing.
So, I mean, certainly the website, Facebook posts, all of those organizations are going to post it on their websites, direct mail to their client base. I mean, within my client base, I have 800 contacts of various businesses, mainly in Guilford, but some extend out. So we're going to be reaching out with every communication vehicle that we can. We'll get some, we expect the Courier, Shoreline Times, New Haven Register to publish some kind of a press release and article about the seminar. And I don't know, are you in a position to comment about Ann?
I think you just did.
Okay. Well, why don't you? Ann Nyberg, why don't you go?
Well, you know, as an example of some of the amazing people that we're
One of the anchors on
attracting.
Channel 8.
Yeah. You know, being able to have Andrew Page from Page's Hardware up on stage with us, being able to have Tim Geelan from Guilford Savings Bank up on stage with us. These are fabulous people who really walk the walk day in and day out in terms of they have learned to differentiate themselves in their respective industries, banking and the hardware business for Pages, by providing, they differentiate themselves in their business by providing iconic customer experiences. I mean, anybody in town can tell you stories about Pages and something terrific they did, something great Guilford Savings Bank did. One of the people that we just found out and we're so excited to have on board is Ann Nyberg. Ann Nyberg found out about the event through Leslie Krumholtz and the Good Streets people and got excited about getting on board and helping us out and supporting us.
What will she do?
She'll be at the event. She will be hopefully on stage at the event, at least for some portion of the day. And, you know, Ann has a track record of doing things just for the purpose of supporting
Yeah,
the
and besides
community.
being an anchor, she at one time at least, I know, also had a small retail business in Westbrook.
Yeah.
She has one. It's actually in Madison now.
She does in Madison?
She does,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. So she's got that experience to go along with it. So that's great. Yeah, if you get, I mean, obviously you get people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get Tony Fapiano.
You got him. Here he is. Here he is.
We're done.
Okay, we talked about the internet as, you know, as a serious competitor for anybody that's in business today, except maybe my local dentist. I don't know. Maybe you can do that I don't know. But several years ago, there was some talk about Costco coming into Guilford, and there was a lot of concern and a lot of discussion and conversation within the small business community
Yeah.
about how that was going to impact or not.
Yeah.
And sounds like 23 minutes already. Okay, gotcha. We want to keep this around 30 to 45, so we know how
Okay.
much time we have left.
Good.
That was Donald Beckler, by the way, who's, again, doing a superb job directing this program. I'm sure of
Superb.
it. Make sure you get my good side, Donald. But when Costco was discussed as a potential business in town, there was a lot of reaction to it, and for different reasons.
Yeah.
Many people in the community that run small businesses that would be in direct competition were concerned. Now there may be a Costco coming a couple of miles away in
Yeah.
the town of Branford. What does this program provide to the local guy that may be concerned about that?
Well, I think part of it is that there are things that we can control.
That's an awful question. I
No,
didn't
that's a
word
great
that properly,
question.
but
No,
you know what I'm
no,
getting
no,
at.
no, bring it, really. That's what we're here
That was
for.
my Mike Wallace question.
You know, along with the weather and the economy, we can't control, as small business people, we can't control the competitive environment. So if I have a widget shop on Main Street and some other guy decides to open up a widget shop on Main Street, I can't control that. What I can do is be better. And I know I sound like a broken record on that, but it's the case. It's what works.
Mm-hmm.
And if my relationship with you is strong enough and you like me and you trust me and I've got a great track record with you, again, am I going to get all your business? Are you never going to go to a big box guy? Are you never going to shop online? No. I don't need all of your business. I don't need all of everybody's business. I need my fair share. And I can do that. And I can do that by creating an emotional connection with you that Costco just can't create. So Costco may come to town, but I'll still be buying my appliances at Page's Hardware because they have a track record with me. They've stood behind things that I've bought way longer than I ever thought they would, a level of trust, a level of service. So, you know what? There's already big banks in town. I don't do business with them. I do business with Guilford Savings Bank. Why? They've got a track record with me. They know me. You walk into Guilford Savings Bank, the president's office is right there.
They got chocolate chip cookies on Friday.
Come on. Not to mention the cookies, yeah. So,
You know, but Tony,
Now, if Gielan stops doing that, there's a problem.
yeah.
but you
I
know,
think he knows.
It's like that small touch, though. You think about Guilford Savings, you think about that cookie. That's the appreciation marketing.
Absolutely.
That's the customer experience that, you know, we all joke about it, but we go in there on Fridays to see it.
Yeah, I never go in except Fridays.
Well,
Of course, the drive-in tellers all know my dog, and they all have a treat ready for him. So George, my dog, is happy about that as well.
but I mean, think about that.
Absolutely.
I mean, and you know, you just talked about it, and that's why.
All right, but the follow-up question to this Costco issue, and this maybe it's not fair to even bring this up, but I'm going to anyway because that's the way I am. But we have regulations in town that would have prevented Costco or any other big box from coming into town. Does a town, as a town, have the right to limit competition? And in effect, that's what we do by not allowing the big retailer to come in to compete with the little guy. Yeah. Brian, maybe you want to address that.
Well, I mean, you know, the answer is yes and no. We only regulate a few businesses. I mean, for example, the town has decided we only want X number of gas stations in town. The state regulates how many liquor stores we can have in town. But beyond that, whether it's retail stores, pizza shops, nail salons, hair cutting salons, whatever, we don't say, you know, 6 is the right number, 8's the right number. We don't do that. We regulate based on the size of facilities, and we dictate, you know, setbacks from the road or setbacks from adjoining properties and things like that. So that's really where the town gets into this is so we don't.
But also
really
limiting the size of the space, which would preclude
indirectly,
Home Depot or whatever coming into town.
I mean, when you look at the new Guilford Commons, you know, coming onto what's everybody's called the Rock Pile. I mean, that's a 140,000 square foot site in total. But there's going to be probably 15, 18 businesses in that total complex.
There'll be that many. Huh?
Yeah, it's going to be close to that, I think. So, you know, while we have a good-sized plaza, we look at where it is, easy access off of Interstate, 95 at exit 57. So, you know, the town looks at the use of properties and dictates the sizes and things like that based on those.
Now, the only known tenant, I think, is Fresh Market. The only
one
that they've actually
announced.
said this is a tenant for sure.
Yes.
Now, that seems to me is a big name. A nationally known brand that will be competing with a lot of smaller retailers in town. They're going to sell. Their inventory is going to be competitive to a lot of places in town.
Well, so is Big Y. And again, I go back to, as a small business person, if I have a food business in Guilford, Big Y comes to town. I can't control that.
Right.
It's a fact of life these days. I can't control the internet. It's a fact of life these days. Here's what I can do. I can create a better, more personal, a tighter emotional bond with my customers, provide an experience for them that Big Y just can't provide, and in that way compete effectively.
Yeah, and we all go to Big Y, so we go there for a reason.
Yeah,
and,
but I can still go to the other people in town.
I have a silver card, as a matter of fact. Silver. So the bottom line here is that on May 20th, at the Guilford Yacht Club, you guys are going to be putting on a program which is going to be very valuable, I would think, to not only existing businesses, but I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, what if somebody is in a different employment right now and they're thinking of going into business? Would they be somebody that might benefit from being there?
Yeah.
Oh, I think absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's because the startup especially has to figure out what's their competitive edge. What are they going to do differently? How are they going to differentiate themselves? So I think, they'll gain a lot of ideas at this session that could help.
So you sort of have to reach out to the non-small business people too, whoever they are. They're out there somewhere, and,
Yeah.
and hopefully this is one way that they might know about it.
Yeah.
Now, if
Yeah.
they are watching right now and they do want to be one of the people to register to attend, I mean, Guilford Yacht Club, you're going to have limited space.
We are, and you know, we are not
So how many are
concerned.
you?
We are not concerned about filling the space. What our goal is to put the right people in those chairs on that morning. And when I say the right people, you've been to a lot of events as a business person. Wednesday morning, May 20th, is going to be a magical event. The speakers, the wisdom that's going to be collected on that stage is going to be spectacular. And if you want to be better, you're going to be there. You're going to want to try and be there. So the people that we want in those chairs on Wednesday, May 20th, are people whose lives we can change at work. People who the light bulb is going to come on, and they're going to be inspired, and they're going to go back armed with new information and new wisdom that they may not have had, or maybe they had it, but they didn't realize how powerful a competitive tool some of this material is.
Okay, well, again, but I was leading to the question, how does one, A, know about this, which you've sort of covered, and how does one then register for it? Because, you know, if you get 1,000 people signing up, you can't fit them.
Right.
You're going to have limited space there, right?
We do have limited space.
So how does somebody register?
The registration is going to take place as soon as the website is up, within about a week or so.
And that website address is?
marketingformainstreet.today.
Okay.
Yeah, marketingformainstreet.today.
All right. And that's the only way that they can
Yes.
actually be an attendee
Yes.
is to
But
register
there will be
online?
links to that site on all the chamber sites. There will be links to that site on the Good Streets. You're going to see it all over Facebook. So it's going to be all over the place. Yeah, if you want to find us, you'll be able to find us.
Let's talk in theoreticals now. The town of Guilford has always been conscious of its character. However you define that. You ask 10 people, you might get 10 definitions. But we are aware in our own mind of what character is, and I think Guilford has a tremendous character.
You mean me?
Well, I would never call you a character. Not to your face anyway. No, Jim. So the bottom line here is that even though you're promoting growth and success and so forth, you still want to do it within the framework of what the town of Guilford is. Or the same people in Madison perhaps have the same concerns, and maybe at Brantford as well.
Yes.
So that's another. You know, we don't want to have people watching this program thinking we're out there, you know, trying to line the street with businesses and you know, and everybody's.
No.
Yeah.
And first of all, let me emphasize, it's the Shoreline Small Business Symposium. So it's Brantford, Guilford, Madison. And there are people in all those towns who are really supporting us and doing great work. But no, the whole point of this thing is that everybody involved realizes how crucial the small businesses are to the fabric of our community, and how our communities would suffer in so many different ways if those businesses were not there, or if they weren't vibrant and healthy and growing. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're here, is to take the people who are already in business and arm them with material that is fun and positive, but that's been proven to work, and just change their lives at work and help them sleep a little bit better at night and make some more money.
Okay, so beside the tremendous amount of information that you hope is imparted to the audience, everybody's going to walk out of the room with a book?
I think you just walked out with mine, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to give it back to you. And it's entitled Appreciation Marketing, How to Achieve Greatness Through Gratitude.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Yeah. You know what? As Tommy and Curtis say in the book, it's common sense, but it's just not common practice. And we know this as consumers. How many times have you walked out after a transaction at some type of business and you think to yourself, gosh, they didn't even say thank you. You know, I said thank you to them, and we talked about how consumers make their decisions emotionally based on feelings. And what are those feelings? Well, the feelings, one of them is feeling appreciated. So we know, the research is in, we've cracked the code, we know that if I lose a customer to somebody else in my business, almost all the time, the reason I lost that customer is because they didn't feel appreciated. Not because of price or selection or location or any of that stuff. They left.
As much as you didn't intend that to happen.
No.
And you didn't do it intentionally, it may have happened.
We love our customers, but loving our customers is very, very different from making our customers feel loved
Yeah.
and appreciated. So it's not what we do, it's not even what we say, it's how we make our people feel. And if we can make our people feel appreciated, they're more likely to stay.
Okay, so again, if somebody's just tuning in, May 20th, Guilford Yacht Club, 8 to 12.
Yep.
And they're going to be able to register online at,
marketingformainstreet.today.
I'll remember that after we stop taping. Okay, we're nearing the end of our taping period here. What else do you want to talk about or discuss that we have not discussed? What other ideas do you think people at home should know about the program and what they might learn by attending and so forth and so on?
I think it's just come out. It's worth the effort on their part. 4 hours, getting training or experience that they probably haven't had anywhere else. Good companies can get better, can get stronger. So we want to encourage them to come out, participate. We think it helps the overall community. So it's really an investment in their own business and then ultimately the community.
Yep. Okay, Jim?
Yeah.
What else do you want to add?
You know, Wednesday morning, May 20th, is going to be a magical morning. And we really do, not to sound corny, we really do hope to change lives that day, and we will. The wisdom and the material that's presented from that stage on that day is not the kind of stuff that just plops into Guilford, Connecticut all the time. This is world-class training, and we're making it available to the people as a way of saying thank you to our small businesses, because we know how hard they work, we know how important they are to the community. So no one's making money on this deal, no one has anything to sell, we're doing it because we care.
Yeah, again, I'm going to suggest that we're taping this at Guilford Community Television, which is a tremendous resource for the community. It's public access, it's free. All of the equipment and all the resources they have here are available to anybody that lives and works in Guilford, okay? There's got to be somebody in your group that knows how to operate a camera. And what you want to do is talk to that person, find out who the person is, and tell them to get in touch with Shannon Gale at GCTV about having her loan out equipment to take to your event, because this is certainly an event that you might want to tape and have on public access after it happens.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's something that you definitely want to do. And I think Leslie, if I'm not mistaken, has used GCTV for that purpose.
Oh, great.
For other things. So you might want to talk to her first. If she can't do it or doesn't want to do it, she may know somebody who can do it.
I think
thank you very much.
You know, absolute good idea, Tony, and we should probably work that out. But we don't want anybody to not come because they think they can watch it later. Because the
There's
vibe,
nothing like being at a live
the vibe
concert.
in the room will be
exactly
different than what they'll be able to watch.
Yeah.
So you know, I think we should do it, but at the same time, I think they're going to
Be there.
They're
Just
going
be
to
there.
get the feeling in the room. They're going to meet with a lot of their friends and competitors in the room. The whole networking experience.
Yeah, the
you're not
networking
gonna
experience
get.
in itself is going to be
Well, you know what? If I'm a
tremendous.
business person in town, I want my fellow business people to be there. Again, why? Because what we talked about before is that we're all interconnected. You know, so you being successful on either side of me helps me. So if I'm on Main Street, I want everybody on Main Street to be there May 20th. Because if we can raise our game, if we can create a better experience for our customers, and we can, and we're going to show you how, that benefits everybody.
Now, all you have to do is get Nick Fradiani to show up, and you have to beat him away with a stick. By the way, we're trying to get an interview with him here.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, when he's in town.
Yeah.
Because he's, you know,
Yeah.
he is who he is.
Yeah, he's a big deal.
You got grown older women, you know, acting like middle school girls. So, but yeah, that's a great thing for the town too.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. Okay. So what else do you want to talk about? What else? One more thing. If they go online, once your website is up and running in a week or so, we're taping this, by the way, on April 6th. So let's say by the 16th, you'll probably be up and running.
Oh, yeah. My hope is that by the 10th, we're up and running.
Okay, let's say give it a couple of days leeway.
Yeah.
Say the 16th. On April 16th or thereafter, you'll be able to register online. What's the form of payment for this? Do you take PayPal or do you take credit cards online or just register their name and pay at the door?
No, they're going to be able to use credit cards, and it's
Online.
going to be an online merchant.
So that's important for them to know, too.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, so what else?
Oh, that's it. We're just so excited. It's great to be doing something that's attracting so much support from so many really terrific people, and we're all doing it because we care.
Well, you guys did a great job today. but probably not as good a job as Josh did on
Josh is
camera,
a champion.
or Donald and Sam did in the control room. I know those guys did superb work today.
They did.
What do you think?
Thank you guys very much.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tony,
Well, with
thank
that-
you so much.
Oh,
man.
this has been fun.
Yeah.
Tony,
Thanks
as
for the
always.
information.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
With that, this is Tony Fapiano. Hopefully this has been interesting and informative for you, and you guys will sign up and be out there on May 20th, and we'll see everybody there.
It's going to be a great
Okay.
day.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks.